can't help but notice that this half sort of mirrors this half. So I'm going to run a piece of masking tape right up the middle here. Well, I guess it's not the middle. This is the middle. But I'm going to run it like this. I'll varnish or varathane this side. No, I think I'll stain this side, and I'll varathane this side. I've got more stain than I've got varathane at the moment. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's a little on the thick side. It's only in about the last, not even a year, I've started using these foam brushes. Got them from the dollar store. 6 for $1. Kind of nice, because when you're through, if they get hard on you, just throw it out. Don't lose a whole lot. Okay, I'll let that dry, maybe put on another coat. I'm not going to sand in between coats. Normally I would, but I'm afraid if I start sanding here, it might actually sand down and take away those little micro lines here. And you know, I can't see them with the naked eye. Maybe if I used a magnifying glass I could. But I can't see any little sanding lines right here on this half. And naturally there's nothing on this half. Okay, we'll see what we got later. Well, I've got 2 coats on here now. I'm going to put the third coat on, then I'm going to remove the masking tape. And I have to admit that it has been put on pretty thick because I didn't need to worry about it running. I hope this masking tape didn't leave any kind of tape gum on the wood here. I don't think there's any point in putting a 4th coat on. Well, about 12 hours or more have passed since I put on this 3rd coat, and I can sure tell that I didn't sand in between coats. And you know, it almost looked better when it had just 2 coats on it, because I'm noticing that I'm getting a lot of brush strokes here, and that's going to maybe kind of throw out the test here. But we should be able to determine what are brush strokes and what are actually the drum sander lines. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mask off the varathane so that I don't get any of the stain on it. I'm going to use this stain, and well, here we go. Well, once again, it's not perfect, but it doesn't have to be. Well, I'm going to make a prediction. And that prediction is that this half is going to come out darker than this half. See what happens. Now this is snipe, right here and also over here. You can't really count this little end piece. The actual test area would be from here to here. Okay, I'll let that sit now for maybe 15 minutes, and then I'll buff off the excess. And then we'll zoom in again in this area right here, and we'll see what we've got. Okay, I've wiped off all the excess now. And I can tell it is a little darker here than it is here. And I can actually see the little tiny micro lines with the naked eye. However, it's not annoying. And because it runs with the grain, you don't really notice it. Anyway, we'll stick on the macro lens and we'll just zoom right into this little area right here, and maybe we'll just sort of move down and just see the difference. Now before I actually do that, I want to use a straight pin as a reference, and that way the perspective is a lot easier to see if you actually have something constantly in the viewfinder and you know what size it is. Well, there you are. That tiny little pin really shows just how very small those lines are that were left by the drum sander. You can't help but notice that the varathaned area actually completely covered those lines, and the varathane goes right over top of them. You definitely can't feel them. Now you can't help but notice when you get down and look a little closer at the stained area, yeah, you can still see the lines. So when we started this video, there were two questions. First one was, does it leave lines? Well, I'd have to say yes, it does, but look at how small they are. And the second question was, can we take something right off the drum sander and put the finish on? Well, it would be yes if it's going to be varnished or painted, and no if you're going to stain it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you for watching.